Welcome to another episode of the Not Another Yoga Class podcast / LinkedIn Live. Today we have a very special guest. We have my friend Dorota Gordon, the founder of Peoplevy, which is an HR consultancy. Today we're going to be talking all about EVP, Employee Value Proposition. Morning, mate. How are you?
Hello, Jamie. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Okay, so what is EVP and why does it matter?
Sure. So you asked me to bring a problem to the table. So here's a problem. So organizations, they don't define the EVP, which is employee value proposition, and they don't make it unique. So the way how I see employee value proposition is, why would people work for you over anybody else? And there are two elements of that. So there is a monetary element and there is a non-monetary element. So in your monetary, you have things like your compensation, your bonuses, your share options. And then in the non-monetary ones, it's how does the company make you feel? How does it feel to work there? What are your colleagues like? Are you set up for success? It's almost the culture of the organization and how does it make people feel? And I appreciate it has been probably quite some time since you've been through a recruitment process. But what do you think is the one that is actually being discussed with candidates during the recruitment and at offer stage?
In the early stages, it's probably going to be around the money-based stuff.
Yeah, so it's mainly about money. You get a clarity on how much you will be paid. You get a clarity on how many days annual leave you're going to get. But sometimes it's very difficult to get the clarity on what is it actually going to be like working for this company. And I guess, which one of these do you think that makes people want to join and stay in an organization?
The second, well, the culture, right? The second one.
Yeah. So then once someone joins the organization, it's going to be how they actually are set up for success. Are they set up to thrive or are they set up to fail? And this is the part that employers don't necessarily make clear, and they almost just sort of put it aside as, yes, it will be all fine. But this is the one that makes people want to first work for you, and second makes you want to stay in the organization and contribute. There is a quick fix that actually employers can do, and it's a fix in the mindset. So if you start treating your employees like you treat your customers, that mindset changes. So to give you an illustration of what this might look like, let's say you're running a coffee shop, and ever since I stopped drinking, I drink a lot of coffee. So you will see a lot of coffee comparisons here. So yeah, embrace those. So let's say you're running a coffee shop, right? It's a beautiful little town or village, and you have your coffee shop, and there is another coffee shop down the road. So what do you do to make to bring people to your coffee shop? Well, you create an experience. So you look at how the coffee shop is decorated. How does it make you feel to be there and want you to stay there? And this is what then draws customers in, because you might have the best coffee, but then the other shop down the road, they're going to have the best coffee too. So you need to make your shop unique so people want to come there and stay. And actually staying on theme with coffee, we can take it a step deeper. So let's imagine as an employee, as a candidate, you walk into a coffee shop and you get an Americano. So this is what I'm drinking. And this is like your basic comp. So it's your basic monthly check. Okay, this is what I get. Then the barista adds a little bit of milk to it, and then you get a latte. So this is like a bonus, right? You get a slightly better coffee.
Although, I love this.
As I said, I drink Americano, so that tells you a lot. I just drink basic black coffee. So yeah, the barista adds a little bit of milk, and then you have your nice bonus. And then they do a little bit of extra. So they go and they add some hazelnut syrup, vanilla syrup, or whatever. And this is like your share options. So you walk out of there, you think like, okay, well, brilliant. I got this nice coffee latte with your favorite syrup, whatever. This is like a compensation. But then you hold this coffee and you think to yourself, okay, well, I'm going to go and sit down and enjoy my drink. Just to realize that the place is messy. There's nowhere to sit. There is crumbs all over the tables. It's not clean. People are not nice. You will not want to stay there because it just doesn't make you feel nice. You might have the best compensation. Might have the best coffee, but you will just leave because you don't want to stay there. The environment has not been set up for you to actually enjoy it. And what you might do, you might go to the coffee shop down the road, even though the coffee might be a little bit worse, so your compensation might be a little bit worse, but then you got these beautiful brand new sofas, nice leather chairs, beautiful brand new wooden tables. Oh, and they also do like live music on a Friday or whatever. So it makes you want to go there, even though the basic comp, so your coffee might not be as good, but you still want to be there. You want to invite your friends and you want to contribute. You want to spend your time there. And this is like the environment that we are giving to employees in organizations. And the problem is that organizations see the benefits package as a bolt-on. So, well, you have a well-being company, so you will know that when you speak to customers, they might see this as an extra that they need to give to people because other companies are doing it, right? So you almost go and like, okay, this company, they have a well-being program. Well, we need to have well-being program too. But actually, this well-being program is like the vanilla syrup. So you add it on top of your comp and you go, okay, there you go. There is a lovely coffee for you. But it shouldn't be like that, because if you can create the well-being program as part of your environment, so as part of how does it make people feel to work there, to be there, to spend time in that organization, aka in a coffee shop, then that's what then makes people want to embrace it. And that's what then makes people use it. A lot of companies, they are really good at doing the comp. So they're really good at, going into different tools and checking, okay, are we paying people? Are we being competitive? Are we giving them the right benefits? But what they fail to do is to make them unique. And they almost treat those things as a bolt-on instead of going, okay, this is the environment we're going to create. And the well-being program is going to be a tool for this environment to already give people what we believe is the right thing to do. So, for example, looking after them, we're creating an environment where people's mental and physical health is respected. And then the well-being initiative is already integrated into this culture. So people naturally want to use it because, okay, this is who we are. This is part of our identity. So here it is, a little bit of a coffee analogy.
I loved it. Although I think of our company as more like a cinnamon. I love cinnamon sprinkled on top of coffee. It makes it Christmassy and it's delicious. I totally get what you're saying. So when we've kind of discussed our program and talked about it, I've struggled to kind of pitch it as a benefit because I feel that it's so much more than that. And a lot of people that I'll speak to in a company will say things like, we're really struggling to attract and keep people. And I kind of feel like those are two, like you said, two separate things, and they need to kind of be approached in a slightly different way. And so I'm like, well, yes, you could look at our wellbeing program as an added benefit, but really the effect that it's going to have on making people healthier and improving people's mood and making people turn up with more energy and feeling a little bit more loyal to the company, that effect is what's really going to keep them. And that's less tangible because it takes time for that to kind of embed itself, which is what culture is. One of the things about culture, right? It just takes time to kind of get it right and kind of creep in and sort of seep through.
Yeah, Yeah, and you're exactly right. And that's why sometimes those benefits, people say, oh, well, we introduced this benefit, it doesn't work, nobody's using it. But that's because you haven't created it as part of your environment. So if you have a culture that doesn't embrace that particular benefit, you're just wasting money because you haven't created the foundation for that benefit to be successful. And people they don't relate to it because they don't see this as something that is integral to what they do and what the company's like. So if you can link it to your culture and to what you're trying to achieve, and even better, if you can link it to your product and what you're doing for the world and your mission, that's just perfect, because then people are already drawn into your organization, and then you're enhancing what you already have and what you're creating for the world, and you're giving the same to the employees. So a quick example of that, your employees of record, employers of record, what they do is they embrace a culture where you can work from anywhere in the world. It would be very strange if that type of organization doesn't provide the same benefit to the employees. So if you work for a EOR provider, but actually you have to go to the office every single day, right? And it's almost, when you put it in those terms, it sounds ridiculous. But when organizations are putting the benefits in and they think like, okay, well, the organization down the road does this, I'm going to have to do the same. But they don't think about the wider implication, or how they're going to embrace it and how they're going to make sure that it fits within what they do. That's exactly what it is. It's like a EOR provider where you have to work from the office 9 till 5 every single day.
Yeah, I get it. I guess this lands on us as well as the sort of offering the sort of services that we offer. We have to make sure that they're kind of integrated back into our own companies.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about walking the talk. And when you, it's not just about going, okay, well, this is a good thing to do, we should do it because everybody else is doing it. But what does it make for us? Why are we doing this? Why do we want to introduce this particular benefit? Or who does it serve, and what purpose does it serve? And these are difficult things to get through. But once you figure it out, once you're really clear on what you want to achieve and why, then it just goes really, really smoothly, because you understand it, you know where you're coming from.
So companies that get their employee value proposition right, how does that bleed out? What is the effect of that? How good does it get?
Yeah, it's how the employees feel about working there. So when you work for an organization that has that clarity, you can see that it all fits together. So when you go to work, if an organization, let's say, gives you a fitness benefit, you also know that, okay, in this company, it means I can go for a run, or at the I don't know, outside of your working hours, you might want to go to a sports club together. And they also bring the same culture and the same values into the day-to-day working life. So if someone wants to go and take the time off, or if something happens, they start to work flexibly. Again, because there is a link to, okay, we look after your well-being, and we look after your physical well-being and your mental health well-being. And that's why we offer you this program. But we also make sure that you do whatever you need to do to look after your mental health well-being. And that might mean different things to different people. But that's when you really clear that structure for people to feel, okay, I understand that here my well-being, the whole person, is being looked after. So then they actually go the extra mile to contribute for the company as well, because then they know that the company is in alignment with what they want to achieve.
Got it. So defining the value proposition from those different aspects early on is basically essential.
Yeah, and making it unique as well. So don't just do a benefit because another company does it. Make sure that it actually fits within what you do as an organization as well.
I love it. We've run out of time, and you've only done 2 coffee analogies.
I know,
I think we
right?
landed on it though.
We did.
I think we did it. So employee value proposition, make it unique and make it tie in and fit with the values of your specific organization. Dorota, thank you so much for this. This has been a brilliant one.
Thank you so much for having me, Jamie.
I've loved it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.